what we're going to do here now is we're going to kick off this segment with Guvera's Global Commercial Director, Deane, who's here to share his commitment to being part of the greatest music entertainment experiences for fans, including his deep belief, and you are committed, right, Stephen? Yes. To supporting established and emerging artists, designing integrated music solutions for brands, and keeping the business focus firmly on the fans. So it is my pleasure to invite up right now Deane and his special guest. And his special guest is from the wonderful Harley-Davidson Company. She's taking us all across the street to the Marina Bay Sands Mall, and we're going to get to pick whatever we want from the Harley-Davidson store. Is that correct? Absolutely. So Stephen, come on up and join us. Pleasure. You got it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's fantastic to join you here in Singapore this week. As you'll hear, I've got a very odd accent. I spent a long time in Europe. I spent most of my time on an aeroplane, and apparently I live with my family in Queensland in Australia. Today, I don't want to talk about the conjecture of whether streaming is right or wrong. It's here for good, we know that. More about giving you an insight into Guvera. We haven't really spent that much time publicly talking about who we are and where we're from and what we're about. And I want to take you through essentially the insights of our company and how we operate a little bit more, particularly giving some focus to our commercial partnerships. My job ultimately is about trying to make money for the organization and our partners and also our clients. First and foremost, there's three things that I always think about essentially when I do my job. Firstly, it's making sure we have great content. And a lot of the presentations that have been happening here this week so far have been talking about content and the distribution and licensing and so forth, but ultimately it just comes down to great content that people want to watch, listen to, visit, see, and so forth. Second of all is ensuring that we have as many eyes, ears, and people listening and watching and experiencing the content that we're distributing through our network and our brand. And finally, it's making as much money as possible for that so we can keep on continuing to give that content out to the fans and making sure they're being entertained. There are three guiding principles within our organization. The first one is ultimately where our content comes from. And we talk internally about made by music. We are nothing without the content that we deliver through our system. And with that in mind, we spend a lot of time and resource and energy on ensuring we have the best content. We have great relationships with both international and local labels in all the territories that we operate in. We're really fortunate to have strong relationships, even more so with other commercial partners, which allow us to do what we do, which is fantastic. Added to which, and there's a lot of conjecture out in the industry with regard to who does what, where, and how, we have committed the human element to our systems. We have the ability to use algorithmic approaches to developing playlists and so forth, but that's all well and good. We know that music and the art form that is created through it is created through the human and the people that create that. And as such, as a platform and as a responsibility, we take that very, very seriously, and we have human curators and producers that work in our businesses in every territory that we operate in. They are essentially enforcing and creating the best playlists and products that we can possibly put out there for our users and listeners. We do playlists that are genre-based, mood-based, whether it's, one of the guys in Australia created a eating Mexican dinner tonight playlist. There's something for everybody. Added to that, Following through with regard to the importance of music is also then what this conversation is about this afternoon, and Pallavi will move forward with that, particularly with her customer base and what Harley are doing in India, is that of, as we're made by music, we're also made by our fans. So our fans are essentially the bread and butter by which we do everything we can. They're our transactional economy that we can actually relate to our advertisers and our partners in that regard. They ensure that we can pay our artists and our labels, because ultimately without them, there would be no Guvera, there would be no transaction of that. And in a sense, we are constantly looking at ways that we optimize our service to those guys as well. We have various systems and processes in place which give us decent insights into how we should be constantly upgrading, reviewing, and promoting what we're doing. And what essentially has happened with regard to the fans, and particularly our business, and when I came on board, and the conversations we're having from a partnership point of view as well, has actually seen our business evolve considerably. We're moving into elements of production ourselves. So original content that we'll be producing ourselves to distribute through our own networks. We're working with partners to create content for them as well. And no different to any other publisher or broadcaster in that sense. But the point is that fans are actually creating the difference. And it's fantastic working with artists that see the ability to be able to distribute their music through whatever channel a fan wants to access that information from, that content from, ensuring that we're constantly entertaining them moving forward. In addition to that, the third point of our business is essentially made by brands. It's important for us to be able to sustain our business. And as I said, the third point to what keeps me going in my profession and what I do is in our agency, in our business, should I say, is that the fans are actually enabling us to be able to deliver the content to our fans. And those transactions and the relationships and partnerships we have enable that to happen. And it's incredibly important that as we move forward, we're actually increasing the volume of brands that we're working with exponentially, which is fantastic to see right across the regions that we work in. There's a number of new clients that are coming on pretty much every week across the network. We're having conversations everywhere from North America through to Asia, through to the UAE and Russia and so forth. In fact, our Russian inventory has been completely bought out by one advertiser and one partner that wanted to own the entire network as we launched into the market. What is important to note with regard to our brand relationships is actually creating meaningful transactions that add value both to our user base, because I don't want to piss off my users because they won't come back. I want quality content, as I mentioned earlier, that's engaging enough for our users to enjoy, but that's also meaningful for the brands as well. I have a background in advertising and marketing, so I've been a CMO at various companies. I've worked in advertising agencies. I was the strategy director at Mindshare. I understand the economy that exists between the value transactions between consumers and brands, and I've been doing it a long, long time. And this is critical in our business to ensure that the balance is accurately performed well enough, that there's a transaction of value between the two. And that's why Pallavi is here today with me to demonstrate how we've partnered together to drive value both for our user base and as we grow as a business, particularly in India, and also as their business grows in India as well at Harley-Davidson. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Pallavi Singh, who will move forward.
Good evening. It was great to see Jeremy Loops, my favorite band. I saw him, I think, a year back in India. So thanks, Stephen. And just to go back, I mean, the brand purpose of Harley-Davidson is we fulfill dreams of personal freedom. So if you look at what do rock music and Harley-Davidson has something in common. And we went back and we were thinking about what should we do. And Paradise City was the first ever song which Guns N' Roses first ever licensed to any commercial. And that was Harley-Davidson's iconic Black Sheep TV spot. So it's from Elvis Presley to Bob Dylan to now Foo Fighters, my favorite band from the US, and Kid Rock. They've all been riding Harley-Davidsons, and the rock rebels, they just go on. And why rock music for us as Harley-Davidson brand is rock music and Harley-Davidson represents freedom and independence, self-expression, and the youth today and the global generation connects to that value. So we've seen and we've done a lot of research talking to a customer, like Stephen said, it's about the fans. For us, it's about our customers. They're the bread and butter for our business, but most importantly, they're emotionally very, very attached to the company, to riding together, the brotherhood, the community. So music was one thing which had a great synergy for us in India, but across the globe as well. We do so many rallies and events, and music is a very integral part of our business. What is Harley Rock Riders? And I will touch very briefly on that. Harley Rock Riders is a platform which really brings music lover, but most importantly, motorcycle lovers together at one platform. We've been doing this for past 5 years now. It's really made us come to a point that today not just music but motorcycles together are bringing that great one emotion which both of them enjoy together. We've been trying to do this for almost 5 years, like I said. The idea is to support the independent rock music act in the country. And it's not just a music festival for us in the country. It's something for all of us. It's a way for all of us at Harley-Davidson to celebrate and to really embrace rock music, but also showcase the Harley-Davidson lifestyle to enthusiasts and people who want to really taste the lifestyle of the brand. Touching really briefly on Harley Rock Riders Season 5 is that we as Harley-Davidson India and Guvera and Only Much Louder brought together one of the largest rock music festival in Bombay. Bombay is one city in the 90s. Rock was very, very famous, and people used to come out from universities and college and bunk and attend those festivals. So there's a lot of emotion in the city behind this kind of music. It was great because for us, we just launched the new motorcycle, which is the Harley-Davidson Street 750. It relates and it has a lot of attributes to the young urban rider. And music in young urban rider was a great collaboration for us to put something like this out there. And for us to have Guvera on board to do something like this, to really bringing the offline experience online, really showcasing not just motorcycles, but a great amalgamation of music and motorcycles online. So there was the network of OML and Guvera's network and the fans, which really made the music festival not just a music on ground, but really made that emotional impact online as well. This is just a glimpse of the festival, just very from on-ground perspective to online. And from evaluation, we're all in the business of selling, we sell motorcycles for a living, so everything has to come with value. So it was good. There was a great interaction and engagement online and social media. Our reach was almost 7.5 million. Our impressions were almost 25.4 million. So it was a great interaction and engagement from a brand perspective. Now Rock Riders actually has become a festival which is a definitive rock festival in the country with the help of our great partners on board who understand what goes behind building something which is emotional in nature and not just very transactional. So now we have, through Harley-Davidson community and brotherhood, we are now really aiming to build something much more which can bring value to the customer, but also help independent music build that talent and celebrate music. Thank you so much.